TV soap new and spoilers today. We're diving into one of the most intense and emotional storylines that has unfolded recently on Days of Our Lives, the fate of Rachel DiMera and whether she will leave Salem. The stakes are higher than ever, as Brady and Kristen's fears for Rachel's future intensify. Will Rachel be taken away from them forever? Will she be forced to leave Salem as a result of her actions? Let's break down the dramatic developments and the emotional toll this situation is taking on everyone involved. In the latest episode, Brady and Kristen face a moment of truth when Brady confides in Kristen about a recent visit from Child Protective Services, CPS. Brady, ever the protective father, is clearly shaken as he relays the news to Kristen. The CPS file on Rachel is shockingly thick, filled with concerns about her well-being and behavior. The revelation sends shockwaves through the DiMera family, as Brady warns Kristen about the gravity of the situation. He tells her that Rachel is too traumatized, which implies that the path to redemption for her might be closing rapidly. Brady's words echo with a sense of finality. Rachel's future in Salem is on the line. The fact that CPS has taken such an intense interest in Rachel's case means that her actions are being scrutinized more closely than ever. The thick file suggests a history of troubled behavior, and it's clear that Rachel is not just a typical child dealing with occasional missteps. The weight of her trauma and her actions is becoming too much to ignore, and CPS is determined to intervene. This brings us to a pivotal point in the storyline, Brady's ominous warning that one more crime could mean Rachel's ultimate downfall. The gravity of his statement is staggering. Rachel is already on thin ice, and her involvement in Ava's kidnapping could be the final blow that shatters her future in Salem. For Brady and Kristen, this represents the worst-case scenario, and it's unclear whether they'll be able to prevent Rachel from facing the consequences of her actions. The story takes a darker turn when we consider the seriousness of Rachel's crime, kidnapping Ava. While Rachel's previous misdeeds may have been seen as childish mistakes, this act is far more serious and has serious legal and moral ramifications. Kidnapping, especially when committed by a young person, is not something that can be brushed aside, no matter the circumstances. Kristen, who has always been fiercely protective of her daughter, realizes the gravity of the situation. The threat that CPS might remove Rachel from their lives forever becomes more tangible with every passing moment. Kristen knows that if CPS finds out about Rachel's involvement in Ava's kidnapping, it could mean that Rachel will be taken away from them for good. Kristen's worst fear is coming true, her daughter's future is at risk, and the stakes are higher than ever. The emotional turmoil that Kristen is experiencing is palpable. She's spent years trying to protect Rachel from the harsh realities of the world, but now, the consequences of Rachel's actions are too big to ignore. Kristen must grapple with the possibility that Rachel, her precious daughter, may be torn away from her. As a mother, Kristen would do anything to keep her daughter safe, but this time, it seems that the consequences of Rachel's actions may be too great to overcome. Brady and Kristen struggle. Will they lose Rachel forever? As Brady and Kristen face the grim reality of Rachel's situation, their relationship is tested like never before. Brady is torn between his role as a father, who must protect his daughter from harm, and his love for Kristen, who is equally invested in keeping their family intact. Together, they must confront the possibility that Rachel's future may be out of their hands. The fear of losing her is overwhelming, and both parents are left questioning whether their actions will be enough to keep Rachel in Salem. Will they be able to shield Rachel from the full extent of her actions, or will CPS find out about Ava's kidnapping and take Rachel away forever? The uncertainty surrounding Rachel's fate is a heavy burden on both Brady and Kristen, and they are running out of time to figure out how to prevent her from being torn away from them. The central question that has fans on the edge of their seats is whether Rachel will leave Salem. As the story unfolds, it seems increasingly likely that Rachel's future in Salem is in jeopardy. If CPS becomes fully aware of her role in Ava's kidnapping, there is no telling what the consequences will be. The fear of Rachel being taken away from her parents is a real and present danger, and Kristen is left with the heartbreaking possibility that her daughter could be sent away, never to return. As the drama continues to unfold, the fate of Rachel DiMera hangs in the balance. Will she be taken away from her parents and forced to leave Salem, or will Kristen and Brady find a way to save her? The tension, the heartbreak, and the emotional stakes are incredibly high, and fans can't help but wonder what will happen next. Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great days of our lives updates and news, so subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.